All right,
Open up there?
huh?
Open up
Yes, I
there?
will. I'm gonna make a comment though. This is the last day of Sukkot, so I appreciate you all being here, and, we're gonna be talking about, well, you mentioned yesterday about the cherubim or the cherubim, however you wanna pronounce it. In the Hebrew, it's cherubim or cherubim, if there's plural.
Not
So-
cherubim, right?
No,
It's-
not
it's
cher-
one,
no,
one
it's
with
ka,
the-
it's a
one with
ka.
the CH and one with the T, right?
Yeah, well, it's a ka, it's a
Okay.
cherubim,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is
So-
scripture?
All right,
We
so.
haven't got one yet.
Let me,
It's just
let me,
starting.
let me go ahead and open up. Father, I give you praise and glory, and again, I thank you for this time, this Sukkot. I thank you for the good times we've had, and I continue to pray that you would, just teach us and instruct us and continue to draw us to your word. And so I give you praise and glory in Yeshua's name, amen.
Hallelujah.
All right, so, the first place that a cherub is mentioned in scripture, because I always like to, wherever it starts, the first thing is in Genesis 3:24. Genesis 3:24. So if somebody would go there and just kind of read that piece of scripture, I'd appreciate it.
Genesis 3:24.
Yeah.
Ready? 3:24, right?
Yeah,
Read it?
go for it,
All right.
please.
3:24. There is no 3:24.
Yes, there is.
It's the last one. Oh, yeah, it is.
It's in, yeah,
Yeah, down here, yeah.
it's in Genesis, yeah.
So he drove out Alaphtath the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden Alaphtath cherubim and Alaphtath flaming sword with turn every way to guard the way of the tree of life.
Okay, so, this being was placed there to guard,
Right.
the way to the tree of life. And this is one of the indications here that I always, think of this as the cherubs are, guardian angelic beings. All right? They're guarding something. Their purpose is to guard something or to, yeah, basically that's what it is.
They're the sentries.
Yeah, they're the sentries. Yeah, sentries. Okay, then the next place that we come across is in Genesis, or Exodus rather, excuse me, Exodus 25, verse 17 through 20.
17 to 20, Exodus.
Yes. And this is the description, I think we read this yesterday. This is the description of these beings that's on top of, that makes the top of the lid.
23, 20?
Exodus 25.
Exodus 25, we're gonna start in 17. And we're gonna go through,
To
verse
17,
17 to
17,
20.
20?
25, 17 through 20 is what we're gonna read. And if you want, if you like, I'll go ahead and read.
25, 17 to 20?
Yes. Are you in Exodus 25, chapter 25?
Oh, no.
That's where I want you to be. And then I'm starting verse 17. And you shall make a mercy seat of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. And you shall make 2 cherubim of gold, make them of hammered work at the 2 ends of the mercy seat. And make 1 cherub at one end and 1 cherub at the other end. You shall make the cherub with the mercy seat at its 2 ends. And the cherubim shall have wings spread upward, covering the mercy seat with their wings and facing one another. And the faces, okay, now this could be, you can interpret it, because there's 2 of them, so you can interpret this, each one has a face, just like we only have 1 face. Or, when we go to the description of them somewhere else in Scripture, we will see that they have 4 faces. And so, it's a matter of interpretation here. So they're covering the mercy seat with their wings and facing one another. The faces of the cherubim are to be toward the mercy seat. All right. So the focus here is the mercy seat.
Right.
Yesterday's question came up, you know, how does this really look like a seat or a chair or, you know, something that can be sat upon? All right. So, because we don't get that information here. Now, these people, the artisans of the lid of the Ark of the Witness or testimony, they had an outline in their mind. I believe the Father, by His Spirit, put that within them, so that when they built it, or when they put it together, it was to look exactly at what was given. That's by what it says, if you know, when we look in this, and when we read this, that the Spirit was put within them in order to put this together. All right. I'll wait for a few of you to get your writing done.
That the Spirit put on them.
Yes.
Spirit of what?
Spirit of knowledge. Let's say that. I think it's also the spirit of wisdom when we look it up. All right, so that's, you know, the first two places that we see cherub being mentioned, or cherubim being mentioned. Okay, a better description, and I misspoke yesterday, it's not Daniel. Daniel's description is about the seraphim. But now I want you to go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, the first chapter. First chapter. Now Daniel, not Daniel, but Ezekiel is in Babylon. He was one of the people that were taken off to Babylon. Okay, and he's near the river Kabar. All right, so this is where he's located. Because I'm going to start in verse 4. Well, I mean, let's go back up to verse 3. If you're all there, it says, verse 3 starts with, and the word of Yahuwah came expressly, now this is the way mine reads, expressly to Ezekiel, the priest, son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Kabar. And there the hand of Yahuwah came upon him. Okay, all right. So now, Yahuwah is focused here on this prophet, Ezekiel. So verse 4. And as I looked, this is again Ezekiel's writing what he's seeing. Behold, a storm wind was coming from the north, a great cloud with fire flashing forth continually, and a bright light around it. And in the midst, something like glowing metal in the midst of the fire. Now, if you can, artisans have, I think, tried to make a picture of this, but it's interesting what they usually come up with. I mean, Amanda just showed us some stuff, you know, that she found on the internet. And so you've got this bright light coming out him, but yet he sees something that's within. Verse 5, and within it there were figures. Mine is plural. Does anybody just have singular? I think all the translations have plural.
Creatures.
They're creatures, yeah. Resembling 4 living beings. And this was their appearance. They had human form.
Yeah, mine says likeness of men.
The likeness of men. So this is what Ezekiel is trying to describe. They had a likeness of men. It's not saying they were men. It just says they had the likeness of men. All right? Now, each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings. I want you to really understand this. Each of them had 4 faces and 4 wings, each. So, Amanda, the picture you had, how many wings did that creature have?
2.
2 wings. So right off the bat, something's wrong. Something's wrong. Yeah, exactly. And so, this is what I was trying to describe yesterday. The picture that is put out in the public is totally incorrect, except it's got a human form. All right? So, it's got 4 faces and 4 wings. Here we go. And their legs were straight and their feet were like calves' hooves. So they had legs and they had feet. And they gleamed like burnished bronze. That goes back up into verse 4. Now under their wings, on their 4 sides, human hands. We've got human hands, okay?
And you have to visualize this.
Yeah, you gotta, this is a visual thing. And it's interesting, especially when you get young people drawing this out, you get all sorts of stuff, but it probably should be doing this, probably should be drawing this out. But I will give you my pictures when we get to the end. But they had human hands. All right. What creature today that we know of has human hands under their wings?
A bat.
A bat.
Yeah.
They have human hands under their wings. Okay, so just to sort of put something into your brain, just something to think about. So, okay. Human hands, and finishing off verse 8. As for the faces and the wings of the 4 of them, their wings touched one another. And their faces did not turn when they moved. Each went straight forward. And when I researched this out years ago, I never saw where these cherubim ever went backwards. You know, like a hummingbird. They always went forward. Like a normal bird, generally, only goes forward. So, but their wings touched one another. So they were in constant contact with each other. That's important, all right? In what Ezekiel is seeing. Okay, now as the form of their faces, verse 10, each one of them had a face of a man. All 4 had a face of a lion on the right, and the face of the bull on the left, and all had the face of an eagle.
Should be on the right then, also in the back. Right?
Well, see,
They had 4 faces.
here's the thing. The first one, it doesn't give us the side that it's on. And the last one doesn't give us the side that it's on. So if you just sort of have a cube, but it's not, I don't think it's a cube, I think it's circular, but you on the right side, you have a bull, and on the left side, no, the bull's on the left and the lion is on the right. And so you've got, you can have then in the front, all right, you can have the face of a man or the face of an eagle. You can have the one in the back, either the face of the man or the face of the eagle. Or the top, you can have the face of a man or face of the eagle, or the bottom. Depends on what your visualization is.
With good artistic drawing.
Yeah, yeah,
I've seen a picture of it.
yeah. Well, you've seen a picture of that artist's
Yeah.
rendition.
Yeah.
And but what I'm just trying to point out is we don't know certain things. All we know is right and left. Because even in Ezekiel's time, right was right, left was left. That hasn't changed too much from creation that I can think of. All right? So now verse 11. Such were their faces. Their wings were spread out above. Each had 2 touching another and 2 covering their bodies. All right, so that verifies or validates verse 6. They had 2 wings on each side,
4 wings.
so 4 wings total.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember John and I talking about this as we were driving to the prism. And when you really get the visualization of it, what do we have in creation right now
Butterfly.
that
Butterfly.
butterfly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or fly.
or fly, and we can eliminate a dragonfly just
Yeah,
because their wings go straight out. We can eliminate birds because they only have 2 wings. So you have to look at some creature that has 4 wings, and butterfly is the best one. Now, has anybody here with us today ever seen an ugly butterfly?
No.
Something to think about. This is where my head goes. Have I ever seen an ugly butterfly? I've seen some real beautiful ones, some that are better looking than others, but I've never really seen an ugly butterfly. They're beautiful creatures.
Even in the form of
They
a
all have a
caterpillar.
one-of-a-kind design, you know.
Well,
Lots of different colors.
yeah. What's that, Danny?
They have a one-of-a-kind design. for
Exactly.
each one.
Yeah.
Or-
And actually, we do too.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though we look similar, we are all different. All right? And so it's gonna be the same thing with these carabine. Even though they look alike, they're gonna be different. They'll be identifiable of their markings. But they're beautiful. That's what I want us to focus on. They're beautiful. All right. And each went straight forward wherever the Ruach, or wherever the Spirit, was about to go. So this was instinctive within them. As the Spirit of Yahuwah was ready to move, it was immediately. It was like there was no hesitation.
What kind of spirit?
Spirit of Yahuwah. Oh, which kind? I don't know. Maybe this was the totality that, just for, the recording. Isaiah 11:2 brings out the 7 spirits of Yahuwah.
What's his breath?
Huh?
It's his breath.
Yeah, it's his breath. And his breath could also, be the word, just like when we speak, breath comes out, air comes out. Okay, I'll let you catch up on your writing there. So, in verse 13, in the midst of the living beings, there was something that looked like burning coals of fire, like torches, darting back and forth among the living beings. The fire was bright, and lightning was flashing from the fire. All right. I'm going to bring this up, because I'm going to place myself at the base of the mountain when the children of Israel were receiving the commandments. And I have this picture that up on that mountain and coming forth to bring the word to the people was these cherubim. They were pronouncing, they were declaring, and there was all of this fire going on, and all of this sound and the noise. All right, and just now, this is my picture. This is what I'm seeing. And so now Ezekiel, some several hundred years later, again is bringing out, the attribute of these individuals. There's lightning and flashing, and I can see that happening on the mountain. Everything just, and it's like, how many of you have ever been caught in a heavy-duty rainstorm, or just a storm where there's,
Oh, yeah.
in
Kansas.
yeah, where there's lightning and flashing and everything, and the tornado's coming at you, and it's like, well, we're gonna be, swept up and done away with. Well, that's sort of the picture that I get here. All right, here we go, verse 14. just to validate that, so to speak. The living beings ran to and fro like bolts of lightning. Now, I think all the scriptures read pretty close to that. They went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like bolts of lightning, just like he's describing what he knows.
But they did not turn.
It doesn't say that they turned or didn't, but
But here it says they did
in
not
verse 13 it
turn.
says back and forth. They only went in one direction at a time. So they could be heading this way, and then all of a sudden they could head that way, and then all of a sudden they could head that way, and then all of a sudden they could head back that way,
But they never turned.
but they never turned. They never turned the way that, we're turning. They didn't do this.
Oh,
Well, that's in Daniel, that's the wheel. They only went in one direction.
Well, I was gonna say I read some Brian Godawa books, and he uses a lot of the spiritual stuff in there. And I think in Enoch he describes this, and they just kind of their faces were pointed different ways, and they go whichever way the spirit wanted to go. It went with that. So if the eagle's face is facing that way, that's the way they went.
Okay, yeah, I
The
can
ox
see that.
went. That's the way they went. But it was the spirit that moved them, and they moved with the spirit.
Okay,
So.
I like that, that's good.
Brian Godawa is really, if you ever want to read really good books.
But nonetheless, there was specific direction whenever they moved in,
Right.
okay? Again, Ezekiel is describing a pattern, because when we go into the wilderness, when the children of Israel moved, they always moved in the same pattern. I want you to think about that. They always followed the cloud. They always followed the fire. And they were always moving in the same direction. That's how I see these living beings. And they're at the spirit, at the breath, at the very word, this is what they're doing. And remember, as I said in the beginning, I believe that they're protective beings.
So are you saying that these cherubims were in that cloud?
Yes.
Okay.
They were there at that time.
Right.
But the definition for that is blessed ones in this for cherubs.
For the cherubs, the
Yeah,
blessed ones?
blessed ones.
Yeah, I totally, I can really go there, all right? Now, I need to just validate some things here. Number one, because it doesn't call them cherubs here, it doesn't call them cherubim, all right? Let's see, I'm gonna go down to verse 23 before I go to, what is it, chapter 10, I think it is. So, but I want to just reinforce, so let's go down to verse 23 of chapter 1 of Ezekiel. And here it says, and under the, wait a minute, do I need to? Let's start in 22. Now over the heads of the living beings, something like an expanse, like the awesome gleam of crystal extended over their heads. And under the expanse, their wings. Okay, I'm just gonna hesitate a little bit, because I want you to sort of mentally get this picture. There's an expanse over their heads, and their wings are underneath this expanse.
Expanse.
Or somebody may have,
Firmament.
mine has
firmament,
a platform,
huh? Say that again?
platform,
Platform, okay.
Heavens.
and a note, but
What does yours have?
like a
Steve?
dome.
It's, what does it say? Expanse,
Expanse, okay.
Yeah, this says like a dome,
which is.
Well, yeah,
firmament.
but it's, there's a distance,
yeah.
Mine says
Okay.
Volt.
huh?
Mine says Volt.
It's my shirt.
Vault?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Vault.
A vault. A vault?
Yeah, it's my shirt.
What does a vault look like?
Genesis 1:68.
It's on the back.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is the vault at a bank, it's there and it's holding something.
Like this.
Yeah.
So it's like their size.
a
Big old room, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, verse 23, and under the expanse, their wings went straight out, one toward the other. Each one also had, and here we go again. Each one also had 2 wings, covering their bodies on one side and on the other side. It validates that there's 4 wings. Now, think about, because this should answer what John brought up yesterday. How does it look like a seat? How do these cherubim look like a seat? Has anybody ever seen a butterfly landed on a leaf or something, or on a twig?
Yeah, the wings are straight up.
The wings are straight up, but then their wings will go out.
Mhm.
So this is the picture that Ezekiel's having. He's seeing this seat that is supposed to be at the same picture that the children, that those who built the lid for the Ark of the Witness or testimony, this is what went on top. And so it looks like a seat. It looks like a throne. And butterflies can do that. And now imagine a butterfly. When its wings are out like that, and you're looking from the top down, what do you see?
Colors.
Okay, colors. But can you see their feet?
No, it's all covered.
Can you see their body?
You get the
Well,
close and fly away.
Huh?
the body's
Get
in
the close
this,
and
you can see the
Yeah,
body
well.
in the center, but you can't see their feet.
Yeah, they're covered. This is what it talks about. They're covered. Their bodies are covered. The only thing you can see then is their head and their wings.
You're gonna look at butterflies from now on.
Yeah, it was, because I did too.
Hummingbird.
When it started really realizing 4 wings, what has 4 wings? There's a lot of insects that have 4 wings. Well, I had to eliminate the dragonfly. That's what I said earlier. Had to eliminate the grasshopper. Had to eliminate some of that. And so, the only thing I came up with was a monarch butterfly, so to speak. Big, huge monarch butterfly.
There's so many varieties.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is.
I've sat in a butterfly chair before too. It was like this big old metal.
Yeah,
like shaped like
yeah.
a butterfly.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, maybe that artisan got a vision from Yahuwah on the Most High, so.
Yeah.
All right, now, verse 24. I also heard the sound of their wings like the sound of abundant waters as they went, like the voice of the Most High. What does yours have, John?
El Shaddai.
El Shaddai,
Yeah.
the Most High, the Almighty. Do you have an Aleph Tav in front of that?
What?
You have an Aleph Tav in front of that?
No.
But then as
The
it goes,
noise, but before the noise is an Aleph Tav.
so here we go. So there's an Aleph Tav and before the sound of a tumult,
Yeah.
tumult. A loud sound, nonetheless.
Of an army. Oh.
Yeah, and like the sound of an army camp,
Yeah.
you know, just a lot of noise. And whenever they stood still, they dropped their wings.
Yeah.
Okay? They drop their wings. That's what I'm saying. When you see the butterfly, the only time its wings go below its body is when it's flying or when it's taking off. All right. And there came a voice from above the expanse. I want you to, again, okay, we've got this expanse. This is what Ezekiel is talking about. But now above that expanse, now a voice comes. And that was over their heads. Whenever they stood still, they dropped their wings. Now above the expanse that was over their heads, there was something resembling a throne. Mine has like a,
Of a throne.
yeah, like a throne or a brilliant you know,
Yeah.
throne type of thing.
Like a sapphire stone.
Yeah,
Says
like a
make
sapphire.
Yeah, made of
In
sapphire,
appearance.
yeah.
And on that which resembled the throne, high up, a figure with the appearance of a man. A figure with the appearance of a man.
On the throne?
Yeah, on the throne. In the expanse, and above the expanse.
Above the.
Yeah.
Like above the rainbow.
It's the heavens.
Well, yeah, because the rainbow would be there. We will see that. I don't know what, because it's in here. You know, that surrounds the throne is like a rainbow.
Is there
What?
Above the firmament.
Above the firmament, yeah,
Is the throne,
Yeah.
and that's what in Revelation opens up and comes down.
yeah. So verse 27, then I noticed from the appearance of his loins and upwards something like glowing metal that looked like fire all around within. And from the appearance of his loins and downward I saw something like fire and a radiance around him. And then verse 28, here's the rainbow. And as the appearance of the rainbow in the clouds on a rainy day, so the appearance of the surrounding radiance. Such the appearance of the likeness of the glory of Yahuwah. And when I saw, I fell on my face and heard a voice speaking. Now I'm gonna end this segment right here. And again, I state, it doesn't call these cherubs or cherubims.
Right, it's just living creatures.
Yeah, just living creatures. And basically, that's how I see cherubs. They're living creatures. All right? They got a specific job, a specific purpose. And this is what Ezekiel is trying to explain to us.
You saw this in a vision.
He saw this in a vision, yes. And it'd be the same thing as Moses. Moses had a vision of what this was to be. You know, it says, what you saw, you make this. You make the tabernacle according to what you saw.
Right.
Okay? All right, so how do I come to the conclusion that they're cherubim? Let's go to chapter 10.
Ezekiel?
Chapter 10 of Ezekiel, yes.
Is it possible too that because of their wings, would it be too heavy for them to turn? Or is it just their head?
Have you ever had a butterfly land on you?
Yeah,
I have.
yeah,
How much did they weigh?
nothing.
Nothing, basically. I mean, there was a little bit of weight to them, but, you know, it's not something you can feel.
Same weight as a
Just-
fly.
Yeah.
Just trying to picture these heavy-duty wings that they have. They
Well,
have 4 of them.
Yeah, but remember, they're
Yeah,
spiritual
I know.
beings.
Um,
Because the same beings have been mentioned when Yeshua came in the end times. They always go with him
Mhm.
and mention the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. So I wanna go down to verse 15.
15?
15.
10, 15.
Yeah, 10:15. Well, I mean, this whole thing, but I just have 2 scriptures here. I just noticed verse 7. The cherub stretched out his hands from between the cherubim to the fire. Oh, but this is about the coals, touching the,
yeah.
yeah, so, I'll skip over that for right now. But verse 15, this is where they get described. Then the cherubim rose up. Now they are the living beings that I saw by the river Kabar.
Yeah.
All right, and that's down in verse 22 also. Let me read that. And as for the likeness of their faces, they were the same faces whose appearance I had seen by the river Kabar. Each one went straight ahead. So, go back to verse 1. He's by the river Kabar. He's describing these beings. Now he says that's who they are. That's what they are. They're cherubs.
And they're the same one with the flaming sword at the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I hope that gives you a little bit of a reference of these living beings. And the cherubs and what they look like. So draw your own picture if you want. But remember, 4 wings, 4 faces, a body, legs, feet like hoofs, and hands underneath one of the wings, the 2 of the wings.
Like a good
Only
Hollywood
2 of the
movie.
weeks, so
Hmm?
4 of the
Like a
weeks.
good Hollywood movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought they said they had 4 hands.
huh?
I thought they said they had 4 hands.
Different,
Yeah,
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 very good, yeah.
Try to find that for me, yeah, because that would be back in Ezekiel where we started.
illustrating their vision, you know.
And it could be, you could be right. Amber, I mean, I'm just assuming it like a bat.
Now, is this also looking for the future time to come, or is this, when he's seeing this, for him, present time? I mean, what he saw, the things that were happening in the future?
It's for the past and it's for the future.
Yeah.
It says right here, it says under their wings on their 4 sides they had human hands.
Okay, so.
4 hands.
They have 4 hands.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting. Well, that would give him 2 hands in each direction.
I
Whichever
mean, it's just,
direction
something,
they
you know,
went.
because this is how my brain works. I just start pondering these things.
Interesting.
And then when I see pictures like what you showed me, Amanda,
Right.
no, that is, it can't be. Or if I see pictures of, you know, how the you know, what we read yesterday, what Solomon built, and then what's depicted, you know, with bird wings. No, that's not it. It can't be it.
And Dave, you have a lot of time to ponder. You
I-
drive to Utah
Oh, you-
and
You got it.
keep that
Oh,
mind
yeah, while you're
occupied.
driving, yeah.
Yep, I do. So,
You ever pull off the side of the road and check your scriptures?
Yeah, they did the AI that way.
well,
Yeah.
I've
Is that the same
been
one
able
you were
to
looking
just
at?
No, we were looking at
remember
Satan,
it,
but yeah.
you know, I make a
Oh.
lot of stops.
Let's see.
So then some of these things I write down. Most of
Wait.
what I just talked about now, I had the discussion with John Shaver as we were going to and from the prison.
Back.
So we had a lot of time.
How far is
Here we
Oh,
go.
that one has 4
Well,
hands.
one was 3 hours, the other one was 4.5.
One like Vegas, that area, right?
No, we never went to that one.
Oh, those are
No.
cool.
No, we went out to Blythe and we went up to
That one's
Avenal,
better.
And then over here at Atlanta. So there's only 3 prisons.
So I found just this.
Okay. Mi texto.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll show you.
Yeah, we just replay it.
Oh, man.
Here, just replay it. It just shows.
Well,
different-
because of what we just talked about, and then
Doesn't
what's
look like
depicted.
Oh, yeah, that looks like a person.
They still try to give him
But
bird
again, like, who's
wings.
gonna care, right? I mean, you know, it's just the person's, you know, your
Yeah.
imagination.
Yeah, and that's,
Because I've seen so many different, you know, even cartoon,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they
That's why all
all tend
angels
to
have
use
wings.
bird wings.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even if you Google cherubim, they're all, every single one is bird wings.
Yeah. they're all
And so
bird
that's what I was talking about last night. We get these pictures stuck in our brain, and then we read the scripture, and go, wait a minute. How can, because bird wings don't go that way.
No, but bird wings are noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing, like when you do hear the birds go by here.
I thought
you-
I thought it
Bigger the
was.
birds,
wings,
some of
like-
them-
Here's the way I picture it. I thought like a
And the
cube.
hummingbirds buzz.
Right.
I'd love to
Yeah.
see those.
Like a square.
Yeah, like a cube,
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
cube.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
how many days, huh?
that's the way I picture it.
I wonder if I put cherubim butterfly ones.
But they make them, see, the thing is those, just like Amber, what you had there, they make them wicked looking.
Yeah.
But
That's what Satan
Bless.
is. What?
They're the blessed ones.
But he's a carrot
good
also.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the
Yes.
best. He was a priest angel.
He was the most beautiful
Yeah.
one. And that, to me, as I extended this out with Hasatan in mind, what draws our attention? Beauty. Really, beauty does.
And
Shiny.
smell, aroma.
And smell,
Shiny,
yeah.
shiny, glittery. Jewels.
And as even this morning when I woke up, I was thinking about the parable that I ended with last night. Go out and get the evil and the good and bring them in.
yeah.
You think about that, John?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, in God's eyes, we're all sinners, you know.
So the
Okay, yeah,
evil,
but-
The message was for the chosen ones.
Originally,
And
yes.
So
Well, for the, no, I'm gonna put the called ones there, not the chosen ones.
the called ones.
Yes.
So, but Yah has always put his vision on the Hebrew people that he called out of what you call it?
Originally, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume, okay, you see the bad and the good ones. There were a mixed multitude that has been called upon.
Mhm.
Now, and then they were all sitting on that feast, the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And they all got white clothes, like you said.
Mhm.
Because, and then that other one was not, okay, and we know what it was. But what I'm saying is, even the bad got clean clothes, if you will,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
a coat. So why is it? The good, yeah, you can see, they're good.
Okay, I'm glad you brought this up, John, because that was one thing that I didn't finish with. But I did, because when I started to say, these that are in the wedding feast was not the bride and was not the groom. So, who's the groom?
Yeshua,
Yeshua,
The word of Yahuwah. Who's the bride?
We
The
are.
people.
us,
The chosen ones.
the
Right.
chosen one.
chosen one.
The chosen ones. All right, because I want you to remember this, because tomorrow
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
gonna may start off with this. They're the chosen ones. So who are the wedding guests?
The not chosen ones?
They're going to-
Yeah, the not chosen ones.
Well, it could
The
be
Gentiles?
dignitaries,
Well,
if you
it's the
will.
called.
The called ones,
called ones.
make that up. That's why the invitation, the called ones got the invitation,
Uh-huh,
okay?
yeah.
They just didn't know how to read it. They knew what was coming, but not exactly in its completeness. And they rejected it. And he was angry with them. He killed them. And he burnt their towns. He burnt their places of living.
That's the first ones he invited.
Yes.
The first one what?
The first ones that were, first were called, then out of the called ones, then you have your chosen ones.
Right.
Okay.
But the chosen
But-
ones are the bride,
Yeah, the chosen ones become the bride.
right?
The called ones, that's the whole, years ago when I was thinking, what happened to the called ones?
So both the first and second group were called?
To a degree. But let me try to explain this. So the ones that had the word, the ones that had the
For the
invitation,
invitation, okay.
that
that's
did
the
not
first
want
group.
to participate in the banquet, all right. The wrath of Yahuwah came upon them.
Now, ask yourself, why that Yahuwah so
And they were called.
teed off, right, that he killed them? It's
Well,
gotta be
because of
worse
what they
than
did.
All right.
They were
They
There were
killed
not
the
only-
You had a dick in it.
There were
Just-
Let me
just
bring this up. Let me bring this up. I know some of you know the answer to this question. Who's the greatest enemy of the Father?
Ah, I
The
know.
fallen one.
Huh?
The fallen one.
Us.
No.
The devil.
Us.
Who's the fallen one?
Satan.
You saying Satan? Okay.
That's
What do you say,
us.
Danny? Who's the greatest enemy of the Father?
Mankind.
We
Now
are.
you're making a generality. Huh? House of Tom.
Yeah.
That's the normal thinking. The greatest enemy of Yahuwah are the ones that know what they're supposed to do and they don't do it.
Okay, so that's the first
So
group.
the
Here's the
rebel.
word, but not the words.
They-
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Hearing the word but not doing it.
The
See,
ones
that's
that say
why
it's
some of
not
these,
for today.
that's why some of these scriptures get written, by the disciples. Because they had an understanding.
Oh, excuse me.
It's like those people who have written the Bible over and over and over again, but they know it's just a book, like,
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
don't.
yeah. So, but they have the invitation. They've been
Right,
writing their
right.
invitation over and over again. And so
It
you're
wasn't
personally
important to them.
called by the Most High and you ignore His word.
You're doodling.
Yeah, I will give you so many chances, and then it's okay, that's it.
Well, so to speak.
Oh, that's what
But
it
if you
says.
ignore his word, you're of no use to him, and therefore his wrath comes upon you. That's what this is about. That's what Jacob's trouble is about.
You're not
Jacob's
with me,
trouble
you
comes,
against
hold on a
me.
minute. I want you to remember what you want to say. Because I got a thought hidden through my head. Jacob's trouble comes upon who?
His people.
No.
The chosen,
Believers. The
The chosen and
the called.
the called ones.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob's trouble, it comes upon the children of Israel.
Yeah. So the children of Israel are the chosen ones.
Yes, they're the called ones,
Yeah.
and out of them comes the chosen ones.
Oh, okay, I see.
See, the
All right.
the wrath of Yahuwah comes upon, that's why in that parable, the wrath of Yahuwah comes upon those that are of the children of Israel that do not heed the call. Because see, they are examples to the world. So now, says if they're not gonna come to my banquet to watch and be a part of watching the wedding of my son and his bride, the chosen ones, go out into the highways and byways, those that are not a part of the house of Israel or the house of Judah or the kingdom or the children of Israel, and invite them in, evil and good. Pure and simple.
So the second invite is to everybody.
Yeah, those that are on the outside. Those that will be basically on the outside of the kingdom.
Oh, so they will be on the outside of the
Yeah.
kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it safe to say then, when the disciples are this, what do you call this,
But do they
spreading
have the
the word
word? Do they?
to the different countries, right?
Yeah.
That you can compare it with the servant going there and invite the guests.
I can, yes, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Those that go out, and even today, I'm an example, folks. I've gone out to many places. The only place in this country I have not gone to is New England. But that may change here in a few years.
So the second group, do they have the word?
Second group has they have the knowledge, they have, the group that he burns, the group that he knocks off, or the group that are of the evil and the good.
The group that he kills are the
Those,
called
yeah,
who
they
did
have the
not-
word.
Who ignored it.
Yeah, they have the word.
Okay, but the second group that are good and bad,
They may have part of it, they may know
Okay.
some of it.
they may have
Yeah.
some of the word.
Cause see,
Okay.
all of this leads up to when the kingdom comes, every knee will bow, every tongue will
Right.
confess. That's what that's about. You're not gonna be able to, say, well, you never told me.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. Well, now you got 1,000 years to
They're
change
stuck
your
at the
thinking.
So
reception.
the second group,
They're stuck at the reception.
Eating.
so the
Yeah.
second group who goes into the reception, they're gonna be outside the kingdom?
Yes. The whole point there in the parable is that they are going to recognize that the word of Yahuwah is true, that his kingdom is coming, and that he's gonna rule and reign for 1,000 years. They will know that. No one will be able to, doubt that or confront it.
Then the chosen one already in the kingdom?
Yes, the chosen are already in the kingdom.
See how much is in that one parable.
Yeah, there's a lot. And see, I can only bring out so much,
Yeah.
because I can just imagine some of mine's last night. I already know of two that,
Don't spoil it. I haven't watched it yet.
okay. Well, now you're getting about the end of it, so,
That's okay.
What's what?
It may take me a while to be
The
able
last
to watch it.
because she wasn't here.
Oh.
She hasn't watched the.
Okay, now the first group, those that were killed,
They had the
where
word,
do they go?
they had the invitation. They wait for the last judgment. They wait for the
Yeah.
great white throne judgment.
Okay. So they're waiting for the white throne judgment.
Uh-oh, I see this. I can't cross my arms, but.
I'm not saying nothing.
You can say something.
No.
Yes.
No.
You can say it
Trying to
later.
get some clarity.
Don't worry about me, I'll be okay.
As you should, yes.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. I'll see you later.
Have a blessed day.
Yes.
Be safe.
Yes.
5 or 7.
Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
What would that be?
Yeah.
I do it all, right?
All right.
It's a joke.
7 is fine.
That's what your mother used to tell you, huh?
Yes, she did.
Let's turn it off. Just
Okay.